Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're over here on the Japanese side of the game for the new Kizuna Boss Lin Lin that is coming as of tomorrow, actually, just a bit over 12 hours time, where we'll be getting the second Super Boss Kizuna. So get your alliances ready, boys, because we are diving in, we are taking on Lin Lin, and in today's video, I have some teams for you guys to not only take down, I hate this new system, sorry about that. With today's video, we do have some teams to help you guys take down not only the stages, but also the Super Boss. Now, for my particular teams, I haven't included any of the Kizuna boosters. If you guys do have the boosters, we will talk about it, and I have compensated for them here and there, but we will talk about the teams that I have built. But let's quickly take a look at what the Lin Lin event is all about. So, I'm just over here on my Discord. If you guys would like to get any of this information, make sure to head over to our Discord, and you guys will be able to get all this information as well. But there is a Super Boss available. You earn Kizuna points to increase your bounty to get a Kizuna title. The new Olin will have a Super Evolution, and you can get her skulls through boxes 6 and 7, as well as through missions. You can get her Limit Break materials from box 1 to 5, the skulls to Super Evolve Legend Jack. So Legend Jack will also be getting a Super Evolution from boxes 2 to 7 as well. The skulls to Super Evolve Legend Dex Sabo will be also added to the exchange, as well as the Straw Hat 56 Brook will be added to the exchange as well. There will be Chopper Man missions, and you can farm tokens from the event quest available September 19th to the September 26th. And the event quest can only be completed 5 times. So there was a extra island event. Make sure to farm that up. Use double buggy. Do whatever you guys need to do to get as many extra coins for this particular event against Lin Lin. Basically, all this event information I just read is listed right here. There are some boosted characters. The new Robin, Chopper, and Frankie. There's a new Robin rare recruit, as well as a Chopper and Usopp, as well as a Frankie mini boss. Now, rare recruit. Now, all of these characters will give 1.25 times tickets, 1.2 times tokens, effective against all types, 2 times stats, minus 15 cooldown, as well as having a captain ability that boosts the attack by 5 times, 1.3 times for all characters. So, if you can find these characters, ideally you want to bring them as a friend captain if you guys don't have them yourselves. That way you can just get your ticket multipliers a little bit up. I wasn't aware there was a Super Boss. I might throw a multi at the banner, or I might throw a couple of multis at the banner at the end of this video. We'll see what happens. But let's have a quick look at the rest of this information. Basically, it's just all Kizuna stuff, as you guys can see there. As you can see here, Jack is getting his Super Evolution, so make sure to be able to get that those skulls so you can Super Evolve Jack. He is like a 4 times leader now, and he's a chain locker in his special ability. So there's also that. He's a pretty good unit, so definitely get him done. Let's slide over to the teams now. Now, there is a bit of an infograph, and these particular teams are subject to change, mainly because we just don't have all the information on exactly how many turns everything does. We don't have that infograph that the boy Frankie House normally puts out, but we are sort of just going off with the information that we do know. So these teams are subject to change. I always put out a playthrough video, so don't stress. If you want to, just save your tokens until my playthrough video comes out. I'll be your dummy, and you guys can go from there. But the first mini boss Olin will fight is the top left, which there is an infograph, and you guys can check that out. I might bring it up towards the end of the video for you guys. Basically, Psy characters, Powerhouse, and Free Spirits all get their cooldowns. On stage 2, there is attack down. On stage 3, you get block orbs, % damage reduction, and after a certain HP threshold, which usually means like level 30, they're going to top and middle row bind your crew. So the first team I have put together for you guys is a pretty big Wayland team. Now, this particular team is going to work very, very well. We do have the Straw Hat Legends. They are going to take down the attack down on stage 2, as they can completely remove any debuff for 5 turns, which is really, really nice. To get around the % damage reduction, we have the rare recruit Rayleigh. He's also a 2 times color affinity booster as well, which is going to be really, really nice. Sorry, I just changed to Samsung, so all of my favoriting and stuff is out of whack. We have Wano Law here. Wano Law can not only remove the block orbs, he can turn them into matching, as well as give us the chain lock at 2.5 up to 35 times, as well as being our orb booster as well. We have Roger here. Roger's going to be our attack booster, which is really, really good. He's up to a 3 times attack boost, which is great. And then we've got Yamato. Yamato's awesome because she's not only going to make Wano orbs, but she's also going to give us a chain boost, as well as a chain multiplier with her super typing as well. This whole team's Psy, so of course we're bringing the Liberal Hind, and it should work really, really nicely. For myself per se, I'll probably be using this team, and in the early stages, I'm going to be bringing a Robin friend captain, as Robin, Chopper, and Usopp, and Frankie are all free spirit characters. So be mindful of that when you are building teams. If you can build them around Yamato, basically, you are going to be in good stead. But if you don't have Yamato, you can easily put Roger as your captain here. Roger will work very, very nicely. You can easily do something like this. You can easily do something like this. You can easily do something like this. And then just bring a friend Yamato. But for me, I'm going to try and bring a friend Robin, or a friend Frankie, or a friend Chopper and Usopp. And for myself, I am going to probably replace Wano Law with Robin. So if we just go like this for a second, I actually did manage to pick up the Robin from my summons. I did do 3 multis on the banner. If I can find, where is she? Oh, I can't actually use her because of the Straw Hat Legend. I'll have to reevaluate this particular team for that reason. Probably take off the Straw Hats and replace them with another attack down remover. And then just replace that Law with the Robin that way. And look, that should work absolutely fine for myself, especially in the early stages, to get as many of those Super Boss tokens. If you guys do have the rare recruits, you do want to try and get as many of those Super Boss tokens for your alliance as possible. Moving on to the second variation now, we have the quick variation. So, well, not the quick variation. I'm assuming that the enemy boss for the first variation is int, because Sai get their cooldown. For the second variation, I'm assuming that it is strength, mainly because quick, shooters, and free spirits get their cooldowns. On stage 2, we get bomb, badly matching orbs changed randomly. So a full board of bomb or badly matching orbs, depending on wherever they sit. Stage 3, we get a full board of recovery orbs. They make recovery orbs count as badly matching orbs. They have resilience for I don't know how many turns. Doesn't really matter, to be honest, it's resilience. And after a certain threshold, they will give us silence, which means special bind. So for the first team that I have, we are using Luffy. Now, Luffy's a free spirit booster as his captain. We do have Usopp on this team, so we can trigger the super typing. But Luffy's also going to be our attack booster, as well as our base stat booster. He can also give us a chain buff. Now, for pretty much these first 2 variations, Wano Law is going to be your absolute best friend. And once we get to the super boss, you guys will understand why. But Luffy can be an attack booster. He's going to be a base stat booster for himself, and he's a chain buffer. Once we get past that certain threshold, we have Carousel here. Carousel can remove the special bind. He's going to be really, really nice, as he has the Sailor ability to remove it on himself as well. We have Wano Law. Once again, he's going to be our chain locker increaser, as well as the super typing of Luffy being very, very handy, as well as being our orb booster as well. We also have Sabo and Ace. They're another bigger orb booster. We'll probably use their orb boost. We can get color affinity with them as well, which is really, really nice. And Law can actually rotate our orbs into favorable orbs too, which is another option. You can use Yamato on this particular team if you want to, if you can't find someone like Robin, Usopp, Chopper, or Frankie, but Yamato will work fine too. Now, the final unit I have is the Kizuna Usopp, the one that came out with the Mugiwara 56 Straw Hats. And the reason I do have this Usopp is because not only does he remove 5 turns of resilience, hopefully it's 5 turns, but he also extends the chain buff by 0.2 if you have a chain boost. Otherwise, he's a 1.0 chain buff mechanic. So if you are using a Yamato friend, you can actually get like a 1.5 times and then the chain multiplier effect. But like I said, for myself, I am going to be using Robin as a friend captain, and I'll easily slide Robin on the team where Carousel is until that level 30 stage. Once I get to that stage, I am going to reevaluate the team. I'll probably take off Sabo and Ace, and then bring Carousel back into the team that way. But like I said, I did want to include these particular teams without the rare recruit boosters, the Kizuna rare recruits. So this is the team that I have put together. Moving on to the final fight now. I'm assuming the boss is going to be quick, because Dex characters get their cooldowns. On stage 2, there's threshold removal. And then on stage 3, there's paralysis, increased defense. And after a certain threshold, so around level 30, the enemy will put up despair. So once again, these teams are subject to change because I don't know how many turns paralysis, I don't know how many turns threshold, and I don't know how many turns despair. I'm just going off a limb and saying that they're all 5 turns. That's usually what it is. The defense up could be a little bit different. It might be a little bit higher because of the release of Lucci. So I'm a bit skeptical there, but this particular team should do absolutely fine. Once again, we have Yamato as our captain. She's up to a 5 times captain for free spirit units, which this whole team is centric around. Like I said, if you can build the teams around Yamato, you will be in good stead. She's going to be the chain booster, Wano Orbs. You guys know the drill. She's very, very good. She's a very, very strong legend. We have Sabo and Ace. Sabo and Ace are not only going to be our orb booster, but once we get to those higher stages, they can actually remove the despair as well, which is going to be really, really nice. We have Vivi Rebecca here. You do need to be careful with Vivi Rebecca's switch abilities, because ideally you want to be in the Dex variation, and once you do go into their dual form, you will still be boosted under Yamato anyway, because Yamato's a striker booster. But just be mindful, you don't want their chain lock, so just be careful when you are using their switch ability. But they will completely remove the defense up, which is really, really nice. We have Bonnie here. Bonnie can remove threshold. She can also remove defense up as well, but we mainly have her here because she's a free spirit unit that can remove 5 turns of threshold, so she should work really, really nicely. But for me, I'm just going to directly replace her with Robin. I did pull the Robin who removes threshold, as well as something else. She's an orb booster as well, but she just basically directly replaced Bonnie for this particular team for myself, so that's going to work wonders. The final unit we have is this particular Luffy that came out alongside Wano Law. The reason I do have him here, I still need to level him up and stuff, but the big reason I have included him on this particular team is because not only is he an attack booster for free spirits, he can also remove paralysis, which is really, really nice. If it's more paralysis, obviously I'm just going to add, like, slap on the what's it called support, the Rayleigh support on this particular team. That's going to work out quite nicely. With the Robin, I can use the Bardo support as well. So this is the team that I'll be going for, and then utilizing like a Robin friend captain or a Frankie Usopp Chopper friend captain as well. I do have 2 other teams that I have put together for you guys, built around some of the other legends that have released. Now, this particular team here that you see is built for the middle slot, the one where you get for the same sort of setup as this particular team, where the Dex characters get their cooldowns, Dex, Cerebrals, and Free Spirits. This particular team is built around Lucci, as well as a friend captain Law. Now, this particular team I sort of have put together mainly for the Super Boss fight. The Super Boss fight on stage 3 for the Dex variant, I guess we'll call it. It is going to turn into... Lin Lin's going to turn into a super type, so I imagine she becomes a quick super typing. And then she puts up increased defense. So with Lucci, we can get around the increased defense. And with his super typing, we can get a 2.8 times orb boost, which is really, really nice. We have the treasure map Zoro here. This treasure map Zoro is really, really cool, because this particular team not only works for the super boss, but it'll also work for the actual the fight as well, the actual boss. He removes paralysis, he removes despair, which is really, really good. If you guys don't have this Zoro, I understand he's a treasure map booster. You can easily use like the Kizuna Rare Recruit Zoro. That way he can get around despair. Paralysis, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, despair, and then bring someone else for paralysis. This Kizaru is completely replaceable with anyone. He's just a chain booster, and he's a color affinity booster. Ideally, you would want to replace him with someone to get around the paralysis and the despair, but you could also bring like a Sabo as your orb booster instead of Lucci, and then bring like a friend Lucci if you want to. And that way you can get around the despair that way in your captain ability. Sasuke's great here because he can remove the threshold. He's also an orb booster for that earlier stage as well. You could also do something like with Queen shenanigans, but I have included Page 1 and Ulti here as well. Now, Page 1 and Ulti, I imagine, are going to be getting their cooldowns because they are newer legends, but I don't know just yet. If they do get their cooldowns for this particular team, I will be using them, mainly because their 2.25 times conditional boost is absolutely busted, but if they don't get cooldowns, I'll obviously be replacing them. And if I do have to replace them, I'll probably use something like Queen. That way I can get the attack boost, and then I can get this chain lock starting at the 2.5. For the Psy Super Boss, I pretty much will be using the same team. This particular team you see here. It has a lot of damage output. It should do very, very well. For the Super Boss, though, I will be doing something like this, and utilizing Roger as my captain. Because we have Rayleigh on the team, we get the super typing. On the Super Boss, for the Psy variation, I guess, well, where your Psy characters get cooldowns, you only have to really worry about the attack down below a certain chain. So with this particular setup, like, you're going to be in, like, very, very good stead. Ideally, you want to bring a Yamato friend captain, so that way you can get the chain, like, multiplier buff as well. You're going to be starting your chain multiplier at something like 4 times, going upwards as well. Like, it's going to be absolutely absurd the amount of damage that this team has. It should be able to get around all of those nasty defects. The Straw Hat Pirates are completely replaceable for the Super Boss. You really don't need them too much. You could probably replace them with, like, Legend Enel. Legend Enel will work absolutely fine here, as Legend Enel will be a higher color affinity booster as well. But this particular team, like I said, it's basically the same one for the actual boss fight as well. So it's quite nice that you can just use it for both. But I honestly, if you have Enel, just slide Enel in where the Straw Hat Legends are, so that way you get a better color affinity booster. Or even for where Rayleigh is, so that way you just have more damage with higher stats. Because Legends obviously have higher stats, you will be Gucci. This particular team here too, this one here, it'll work for the Super Boss as well, mainly because you only have to get around the increased defense when it comes to the Dex variant. And Vivi Rebecca does that as well. So this team's going to have more damage, but this particular team will work as well. The final Super Boss is the one that gives the quick cooldowns. And this is the team that I have built for the max amount of damage. Again, we aren't using the rare recruits here. Ideally, you don't really need to use the rare recruits for the super boss. They're mainly just like used for the mini boss stages. So for the super boss, you really just want to focus on damage. When it comes to the quick cooldown mini boss, like I said, I'm assuming that the boss is strength. That is again subject to change, but we will find out once we get more information. All they do is change your orbs into empty bomb and badly matching orbs randomly. So for this particular setup, I'm not sure if they have full immunity either. There's nothing that's stated there, so I did include Kaido, but obviously Kaido is going to be completely replaceable if there is full immunity. If there is full immunity, we are just going to completely take Kaido off. We're just hoping for that double damage, and if there is full immunity, I'll probably replace him with something like Law. I know Law isn't actually boosted under page 1 ulti, as he's not driven or powerhouse, but just getting the additional damage is just going to be really, really nice. Like, really, really nice. But if Kaido does work, Kaido's going to be really, really good. The only thing you have to worry about here is empty bomb and badly matching orbs, which this bad boy, like, is going to remove easily. Akainu is not only going to be an orb booster, but he's also a chain locker. But ideally, if the super boss is what it is, we really want to make use of the switchability of page 1 and ulti. If we get that chain multiplier buff at the 2.5 going upwards, we can make the most out of using King and then bring a friend captain King. And then you can like use King on stage 2, carry the chain buff mechanic into the next stage, and then use the chain buff that way with the other King. What you could also do here is if you don't have King yourself, because I've got like Queen as the sailor support as well, it will like auto trigger King as well. But what you could also do here is if there is no immunity, you could easily use something like Yamato, the driven Yamato, the non-super evolved one. Like you could just flick her back when you are farming these super boss fights, or if you have 2 of them like myself, you could easily do that as well. She's only going to give you 1 orb. She's going to give you a bigger chain buff mechanic. You could bring her as a friend captain as well, because this whole team is driven. That could work absolutely fine as well. So just be mindful of that, and then you just save the King special, and start the chain multiplier with that Yamato. But this team can get around the silence as well, so it'll work for the mini boss stage as well, mainly with Black Maria. But for the super boss, Black Maria is completely replaceable with any other color affinity booster that is quick, that is just going to give you a lot more damage output. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of like anyone that's like too amazing. But obviously, you could probably use, like, a Sabo here for their 2.25. But I do imagine there would be, like, a quick unit that does have some big color affinity. As long as it's around 2 times, you should be fine. I'm pretty sure Black Maria is 1.75, so we'll easily replace her for more damage. But that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. That's basically all that we have to talk about when it comes to this new Kizuna against Lin Lin. Like I said, with these 3 teams here, so this is going to be for the first stage where the Psy teams get their cooldown. Try and bring a Frankie, a Robin, or an Usopp as your friend. Captain. This particular team is going to be for the team that gets their quick cooldowns, obviously with a friend captain, Frankie, Usopp, or Chopper. That way you're just going to get more damage output. Remember, you can replace Carousel up until level 30. That will work absolutely fine. And then against the team where your Dex characters get their cooldowns, as well as Free Spirits and Cerebrals, this is the particular team that is going to work. And if you have Robin, you can easily replace Bonnie. But like I said, if you guys do have the boosters, I would highly recommend trying to find a place for them. They obviously are going to slide in easily on a Yamato team, as they are all as they all do basically slide into Free Spirits very, very nicely, and they will work very, very well. So like I said, that's going to wrap up the video. Before we go though, as promised, we're going to do a couple multis, so I'll be right back. Alright, so we're going to go to step 7, mainly because that's where we get the guaranteed banner unit. Step 5 is looking like it's going to be like a Kizuna rare recruit. Stage 7, I'm 99% certain that that's where we get a banner unit. So we are going to go until that particular step. While I'm summoning away, I am just going to literally double check that, because like I'm just not 100% certain. But worst case scenario, like, look, we might just have to do 1 more. Who knows? Who knows? We might just have to do 1 more. But if we can pick up the Frankie, if we can pick up the Robin, if we can pick, no, not the Robin. If we can pick up the Frankie and the Usopp in the chopper, I will be very, very happy. We don't want to see reds, so like no reds would be great. Multi, what is it? Okay, no. Multi 5 is one of the new units. Okay, so multi 5 is one of these new units. So this particular multi right here is going to guarantee us one of the new rare recruits. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Okay, Jack's about to get his 6+, so that's kind of, it's kind of funny that that popped up. Level, the 7th multi is guaranteed to be a Kizuna Sugo limited unit, and 8 is a legend. So, honestly, we might just stop here. Mainly because, like, the steps after this are kind of like, whatever. And, okay, we want to see Frankie, or we want to see Usopp Chopper. Hey, shout out to my boy, Foxden Pirates. He loves this artwork. I think this is, like, the dumbest scene in, like, the whole of One Piece. But, nevertheless, we did manage to pick up, Chopper and Usopp, which is pretty good. We'll definitely take that. I'm just sort of having a look here. 9th multi is the next banner unit, so, and that's kind of like a yikes. So look, I think we're just gonna stop here. We're gonna cut our losses. We got two of the units, so we're definitely gonna stop there. I thought the 7th multi was this particular step, but I'm actually pretty happy that it's only the 5th. All right, so since we did that extra multi, I think let's just show the teams that I'm going to be using if you guys did pull the boosted. Remember, this is a Kizuna Alliance Sugo Fest, so I think most people would have been throwing like 5 multis at the banner just to try and get their hands on a booster. So for the first variation, as I mentioned earlier, whoop, that's going to happen again. New Samsung, guys, I do apologize. For the first variation where the side characters get their cooldowns, obviously the Chopper, Usopp, Frankie, and Robin, the 3 new rare recruits, they all get like 15 turns of their cooldown. So this is the team that I'm going to be rocking for the first variant. Cooldowns go to Psy, Powerhouse, and Free Spirits. This whole team is Free Spirits, so they're going to get their cooldowns. On stage 2, there's Attack Down. Now, if you have Frankie, you can easily just put the Frankie on this team over the Viola. I have Viola here just because she is a very good attack down remover, as well as being an orb booster as well. She's also a free spirit character. Yamato's is going to be a great option as a captain for you guys, as she can give that chain multiply buff and stuff like that. Once things start to get a little bit harder, we will bring like a Roger friend captain. That way we can get a better attack boost. You can also use something like that. When that happens, we can use something like Wano Law on the team for a better orb boost, as well as a chain buff as well. But for the meantime, we are going to be using Robin and Chopper. Now, Robin and Chopper actually don't do anything for this variation. They're literally just here to get more boss tokens, as well as the super boss tokens. But Robin is actually an orb booster, which is really, really nice. We then have Brook. He's a 2.25 times attack boost to free spirit and Psy characters if you have an orb buff. So that's why we do have the Kizuna Brook here. This team should work very, very nicely. Once it starts getting a little bit harder, we will obviously change our friend captain. Once we change our friend captain, we can start looking at bringing Wano Law in for the Brook unit. But for now, I'm just going to use a Chopper, Usopp, Frankie, or a Robin friend captain. All of those should work fairly fine. If I can find a Frankie friend captain, then I'll probably replace the Viola as well. Moving on to the next team now, where the quick shooter and free spirit characters get their cooldowns. They're going to, on stage 2, change orbs to bomb and badly matching randomly. On stage 3, there's recovery orbs. They become unbeneficial. There's resilience. And then after a certain threshold, after level 30, there's going to be silence. So Carousel stays here to remove the silence. The Robin is our orb booster again. We're not really going to use her for this particular variant, as she doesn't really do too much. She does nullify damage against something as well. But for what she does, she's only really good for like the next fight. But the Chopper and the Usopp, they are going to remove the resilience. They remove 5 turns of resilience, which is great. They also remove bomb and badly matching orbs as well. So there is that option as well. But we do have Law here for his chain buff. Because we have a Straw Hat, we get the the super typing of Luffy as well. And that way we can do a lot more damage. But with this particular team, we will be using a Robin or one of the Kizuna rare recruits as our friend captains, as they're a 5 times leader. And then eventually, when things get harder, we'll probably bring Yamato into play. Remember that Chopper is a chain booster as well. So you can use him on stage 2 and easily tear through that. You can use Robin for an orb boost there as well. The final variation of the regular bosses is the Yamato team again, where we do have our Chopper, Usopp, as well as Robin. This team didn't change too much. We basically just slid Robin in for Bonnie, and we put Chopper and Usopp on the team instead of Wano Law. There's damage reduction on stage 2, which the Chopper and the Usopp... No, the Chopper and the Usopp get around the... So there's Threshold on stage 2. The Robin gets around Threshold, which is very, very nice. She's an orb booster too, but we're not really using her for an orb boost here. There's Paralysis and increased defense on stage 3. So the Paralysis is removal, same with the Luffy. He's our attack booster as well, which is really, really nice. And he makes adjacent orbs matching. And then with the switch ability of Sabo and Ace, we can get the other orbs matching, which therefore makes the special of Yamato more effective. We can get rid of the defense up with the Chopper and Usopp special, and then once the Despair kicks in at level 30, we can remove that with Sabo and A. So that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. A little bit of an end snippet there for you guys, but please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. If you haven't done so already, make sure to smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the big red subscribe button as well. But guys, like I said, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later!